Ah, stunning. Such an inspiring, such a wholesome lady with, I'm sure, lots and lots of some incredible memories coming out of her kitchen. But what we are making today is called the twist. What's the twist? Maybe you want to know. Why is it so important for us to jazz our meals up with, kitchen staples that we wouldn't usually think of? Those are the questions we need to be asking. And the perfect person to ask those questions is standing right here next to me. Why should we be adding a twist?
Because the twist is available to you. Because you want flavor. You want one thing that takes something simple and turns it into something absolutely amazing.
Oh, you know what?
That's what you want.
To me, you've got my absolute full attention, because as I walk towards this kitchen counter, I couldn't help but get the aromas that smells like home. It just smells like your mother cooking, basically.
My mother's
your
cooking.
mother's cooking. What are we making exactly?
We are making a Bredie, right? And we're making a Bredie using our favorite. And I'm glad Mama said she chose the exact same product we're going to be using. That's the star of our show today. And that's our Benny powdered chicken flavored stock. That's the one we're going to be using.
I love
today.
that.
But to start that off, what I'm doing is I've already started frying up some of our garlic, and I'm adding our beef into this. So I want this to start cooking while I speak to you about this Benny that we're adding.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about the garlic first, because that factor is an important one. If you're going to add the garlic before you add anything else, you need to be very careful because it heats up very quickly. And this is something I say to everyone who I teach how to cook.
I'm taking lessons. I am definitely taking lessons. But yes, exactly what you said. It is very important to keep note of that because it burns very quickly. So I'm glad you mentioned that for the viewers. And if you were adding something like onions, that would also just help out with that. But the reason we started with the garlic is because we wanted to impart all that flavor, and it just seeps into everything we're going to be cooking now.
Smell it. Nice.
You can smell it. So I'm going to ask you to cut up that, cut open the bennies for us, which is what we're going to be using.
Easy job, that.
And I know most people, like we're saying, we're adding the twist here right now through Benny, but you can actually even add it on like eggs. You could literally add it on the top.
Wow. But you see, that is really what I like about this range that we're seeing, this Benny's range. It's part of chicken flavor stock that really does go a long way. And the fact that you can use it across a multitude of different recipes and not just chicken recipes only, for me, is a no-brainer. You know what I mean?
It is, definitely. And it comes in a couple of different flavors, so you can just change it around for whichever recipe you're using. But on top of that, I also need some tomato paste because we're making a Bredie, and as you know, a Bredie needs those tomato flavors.
Say less. Say less.
All gold tomato paste, and we're also using our all gold tomato and onion mix because we want that flavor of the tomato.
It's the convenience of all of these pre-packed sachets and the tinned stuff that you really just hoy into the pot. But they don't lose that home traditional factor, which is really amazing.
And all of them are ready to use. It's not like something that you still need to add something to and mix it with this. That's why I like the Benny as well, because you add it as is. You don't have to worry. Some people, like what we're going to do, because we're making a stew of Bredie, we're adding a bit of water in there just to give it some juice.
Of course.
But if you didn't add that, just the liquid that would come from our tomato and onion mix would be enough. So I've added our tomato paste in there. I'm going in with our tomato and onion mix.
Stunning.
And then just a splash of water, because now I don't
Sopo. Sopo, baby. You'll get nowhere without the sopo. Now, we know that this product is versatile in the fact that, it can be used as a stock in your stews, or you can use it as a seasoning by sprinkling it over like eggs, for example, which Dumi did mention. But it is also a quality product that does come at an affordable price. It does save you time. That's, for me, a no-brainer, and one of my, favorite things about it, the fact that you save so much time, and it's really more easy to dissolve than any stock cube, which is fantastico.
And I'm going in with our...
Pagat.
So it imparts all the flavor. And if someone says, but I don't like too much spice in my food, this is the perfect replacement for that.
Because it's neutral.
Because it's already flavored for you, and it's a strong flavor. You don't need to worry about adding too much to it. And ideally what we want is we want our Bredie to cook for at least 2 hours so that the meat is nice and tender.
Can you imagine?
At the 1 hour, 30-minute mark, that's when you're going to add your potatoes.
Why are you adding the potatoes so late into the process?
Because you don't want them to turn to mush. You don't want to have a mashed potato Bredie that's mixed inside there. You want the potatoes to still be nice and firm. And then you still want them to be able to absorb all of those flavors that we're putting in here. So at like almost 30 minutes towards the end of it, add the potatoes. And at the very end, that's when you can
add peas,
fagama chutney, and then you just stir it in at the very last minute, and then you...
Can I teach you something else about cooking?
Teach me, I'm a student.
And the potatoes, and why you've got to leave them for towards the end is because they retain water. Water retention with potatoes is really such a thing, right? You don't want your Bredie to turn into just a pot of sopo.
Exactly.
Of soup, in other words.
And that's the trick. You know, I'm glad you mentioned that, because let's just say, like I was talking about adding the water to the bennies and stuff. If by any chance you've added too much, and now, manja, you're sitting with the soup on the top, and then the rest of the mixtures at the bottom.
Happens.
The potatoes...
Suck it in.
For
everyone.
Liquid.
I love it. If you want this recipe, please go on to expressoshow.com. It is really a traditional favorite of all of us South Africans that has been done with a twist. And that's because the twist is available. I love it. I want to taste it later. Fantastic.
Only Benny powder stock. Make your meals come alive with flavor. And...
it's Benny-licious.
Benny powdered stock, alive with flavor.